But these are the same folks who, when China was mad, all shut up. So we can't have this selective outrage.
On today's Wind Up Wednesday edition of the Odd Coaches Podcast, Dr. Adams and Coach Francis discuss the run of administrative issues in the NBA, discuss the WNBA Finals, as well as react to the state of the WNBA address. Welcome to today's show. The Odd Coaches Podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Stop, man.
All right, I'm done. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and with me today is my tag team partner, the Leilani Kai to my Judy Martin. I'm still kicking it back to the WWF and Moolah's girls, the icon, the showstopper, the main event, and the reason why we are here, Coach Mike Francis. And Coach, good to see you on this Wind Up Wednesday, and there's a lot going on in basketball. Can't wait to jump into it with you as an administrator. But how you doing, man?
Doing well.
Taking bumps. Okay. So Mike, for fans out there, Mike is going through his transition from classroom to administration, and the NBA has really helped us out. So I am curious, not what Mike the coach would do, but Mike the administrator. So this whole segment is Mike the administrator and not Coach Franchise, and this should be fun. So we're going to start off with the Phoenix Suns, man. Phoenix Suns vice chairman and minority owner Jahm Najafi called for majority owner Robert Sarver's resignation in an open letter to team employees, saying there should be zero tolerance for lewd, misogynistic, and racist conduct in any workplace. Sarver was banned from the NBA for 1 year and fined $10 million after the NBA released its findings of a 10-month independent investigation into allegations of workplace abuse during Sarver's tenure as managing partner of the Suns, which spanned nearly 2 decades. People are critical of Sarver for a long time, and Najafi is one of the 3 vice chairmen of the Suns, with several other minority investors also a part of the ownership group. Before I get your response, Mike, the NBA PA has responded. The NBA PA Executive Director, Tamika Trimagillo, if I pronounced that wrong, I apologize, said she was speaking on behalf of NBA players and called for a lifetime ban of majority owner Robert Sarver. The players, will they boycott? Slow down. We have not had those discussions yet. We are all gearing up for the season. So although LeBron James and several of the players have spoken out, nobody said, let's take it all the way to the boycott. Now, the WNBA players would probably boycott. I'm going to say they probably would have boycotted. Last thing before I get your thoughts on what should happen, the sponsors have replied. PayPal, the jersey patch partner of the Phoenix Suns, said it would not be renewing its sponsorship with the team should Robert Sarver continue to be in charge. So now, you saw what Adam Silver had to do as the commissioner based on the information presented to him. And remember, he works for the owners. You saw what the Suns said. You saw what the NBA Players Association has said, and you're starting to get some of the reverb from the sponsors. Again, he was banned from the NBA for 1 year and fined $10 million and can't be in any NBA official capacity during that time period. Mike, how would you handle this situation?
The fact that he banned it, I don't think that's enough. I really don't think they went far enough. I think it should be not in the league. I mean, is there much difference in what he did and somebody else? How would it be handled outside of sports? I think sometimes we don't look at it as we should because it's sports and we don't give it the full look. So
Now, here's the muddy water. The owners have to vote him out. That's not Adam Silver's gig.
but that's
And
the
then
problem.
when people say, what about the Donald Sterling thing? Donald Sterling was on video. We just have the independent investigation. So following what I like to talk about and like to do, suspend, allow the process to take care of itself, allow the Phoenix Suns to say that and keep the public pressure, allow the players every time they play the Suns to keep the public pressure, allow the sponsors to keep the public pressure, and then the owners, when it hits them in the dollars, will say in that private meeting, can we figure this out so we can move on? And it's slow. Everybody wants stuff done fast, but that's not how it works.
Hmm.
So we can get the end goal of the lifetime ban or whatever, but you can't skip due process. And that's what people are kind of not seeing, but people are doing what they're supposed to do. The players keep bringing it up if this is something strongly you feel about. The sponsors, man, again, PayPal's on the uniform, and you know the NBA is trying to be like European soccer and get as much money as they can. But these are the same folks who, when China was mad, all shut up. So we can't have this selective outrage on people's rights and violations. And ooh, China's mad. Yeah, hey, Daryl, we need to. So interesting. And thanks, for your insight. So we're going to move on to Anthony Edwards. Still got your admin hat on. The Minnesota Timberwolves said in a statement last week that they were disappointed in guard Anthony Edwards for his anti-gay comments he made in an Instagram video. We are disappointed in the language and actions of Anthony Edwards that he displayed on social media. Edwards apologized after the video circulated. What he said was immature, hurtful, disrespectful, and he's sorry. It's unacceptable for me to use that language in a hurtful way. There's no excuse at all. I was raised better than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it statement only? Or what else are you going to do? Any sensitivity training? Any suspensions during the year? Anything else, sir?
That's the Band-Aid. Sensitivity training is the Band-Aid. That's what people got to start getting fired to understand this stuff ain't good. It's that simple.
So you going to fire Anthony Edwards?
And we need to fire him, make him sit 15 games, something like, like we got to, until you get to the point where people start, I'm from that school, I'm cutting the head off, I'm holding it up, I'm letting the blood drip so everybody can see. This could be you. Until we do that, like in any walk of life or anything that we do, you're still going to have problems. I don't think it's enough.
So you would fine and suspend him?
Yes.
Okay. So not fire him, coach. Our fans, I'm sorry about that. He would fine and suspend him. Okay.
Start. That's where you start.
Okay. We're going to move to Steph Curry. And Mike, do you pull Steph in the office? Steph Curry told Rolling Stone last month that the Golden State Warriors had internal talks about acquiring Kevin Durant, and he would love to play again with his former teammate. Steph said, to paraphrase, there were conversations internally amongst us. If he was available, would you? Every team has those conversations. They're going to call me and ask me how I feel about it. And he was never hesitant in endorsing the idea of a reunion with Durant. Do you pull Steph in the office and say, "Dog, what we doing?" Or no big deal?
Yeah, I make a phone call, but it don't require more than that. Like, it's Steph. He's not that kind of guy, so he's good.
All right. Couple more. Does Danny have a point? When Danny Ainge joined the Utah Jazz in December, he wasn't exactly sure of how good the team was going to be. Utah was 19-7. They were a season removed from having the best record in the West. Don't roll your eyes because you're an admin and you can't roll your eyes at the meeting as an admin. Okay. But Danny said this: what I saw during the season was a group of players that really didn't believe in each other. I think they liked each other, but they really, when we got to the playoffs, didn't turn it on to another level. And he said he just didn't think collectively they believed they could do it. As an administrator, does Danny have a point based on what you saw from a basketball standpoint?
I don't know if they did. I don't know if they did or didn't like each other. That's tough. You have to be there in order to see that. But I can understand situations. I had a team like that where they just not going to pass the ball to certain individuals and things like that that hurt you along the way. But so he think he's changed that? Is that what he's been the big thing for success?
So one of the reasons why he was so, and I'm paraphrasing from Danny Ainge, he was so willing to get rid of so many players is he didn't believe that as a collective unit, they had what it took to win. So why mess around with it? Similar to the local team. Let's just rebuild, bring in guys we think can do whatever it is that we think as an organization can happen and move on. So in terms of that Utah team, and Donovan Mitchell disagreed with Danny, but do you think he had a point? It sounded like they had no dog in it. That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
I mean, hey, you don't have to get along in order to be successful. Like, it ain't like, Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan didn't go hang with Dennis Rodman every night after the game.
No.
We know that, right?
Correct.
Okay, just wondering.
All right, last one. Kevin Ollie, you're a college administrator. The University of Connecticut and former men's basketball coach Kevin Ollie have reached a settlement of $3.9 million for claimed reputational damages and attorney's fees to conclude the lengthy battle that we covered from the start. And that's cool that we can say we covered it from the start. The settlement effectively ends a potential federal race discrimination suit Ollie had considered against the university. And remember, Ollie won an arbitrator ruling of $11.1 million. So he had some heat going into that potential federal case. So I think UConn kind of said, yeah, let's figure this out. Ollie, a former UConn point guard who guided the Huskies to a 127-79 record and the 2014 national championship, was let go after 2 losing seasons. After he was fired, Ollie sued the school after it refused to pay him money remaining on his contract. Even football teams are paying guys, to leave. The school cited alleged allegations and violations and decided to fire Ollie with cause and without compensation. In January, an arbitrator ruled that UConn had improperly fired him, and he was awarded $11.1 million. So the settlement comes as Ollie's 3-year show cause clause is about to expire. So now he can come back to college coaching. Mike, would he be on your short list of candidates if you were a college administrator?
No.
He's a national championship winning coach. He's done some great work with, I believe he's working with Overtime Elite now.
No, but still, there's a lot that went with that. No.
Okay.
But he ain't the only one I wouldn't bring back, but no, I couldn't do it.
Okay. All right. He wouldn't be on your short list.
No, he wouldn't be on my short list. Not Kevin Ollie. I'll bring back Todd Bozeman before I bring back Kevin Ollie.
Okay. All right. Well said. And thank you for this glimpse into the administrator. And we'll be right back on the Odd Coaches podcast.
There is an old business adage that says, what gets measured and monitored gets done. It is also fact that deadlines spur action. That is what the CKA Save Project's academic monitoring service can do for student athletes. Measure and monitor their academic progress to improve their grades. Our academic monitoring services provide ongoing academic support for student athletes for a designated period of time. Our academic success coaches work with student athletes on time management and organizational skills, along with improving their ability to self-advocate. Every few weeks, our academic success coaches meet with student athletes to assess their academic progress as well as provide ongoing academic advising. If needed, student athletes have access to CKA Learning Specialists who provide virtual core subject academic support for student athletes. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free virtual consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 2. Just a lot of stuff going on in the league, and let's get Mike's reaction to it. So one, Mike, the refs got their deal done, and there's going to be a setup at the end of this piece. So the NBA and the Referees Association entered a new collective bargaining agreement. So this is a 7-year agreement, which was announced this past week, and it starts with the 2022-2023 season, stretches to the 2028-2029 season. The contract addressed salary, travel, pension, and marketing issue rights, and was ratified by an overwhelming majority of NBA referees. So the refs are good for the next 7 years. Now, the league CBA with the players runs through 23-24, but both sides can agree this December, heads up, to opt out following this season. If they do so, a new agreement would have to be in place before the 23-24 season begins. Mike, would you advise either side to opt out, especially knowing how much money we've been talking about recently?
I don't know if we're going to opt out. I think, first of all, the league should opt out. They got to do a better job with these people that's calling the games. Come on, man. If we want to be honest, they had to get some of that money back. Do you think the officiating has been getting better? Is that what you think?
As Robert has told you,
yes or no?
As Robert has told us, we're not getting an influx of younger, new officials at the rate we need to cover to go through that process. You and I talked off camera about how we went through our coaching process. Man, I don't know how much of that is happening with officials.
So whose problem is that, though? That's my point. So what I'm saying is there's been a problem with officials for a while. Getting officials, nobody wants to come into the business. It's a thankless job, some people would say. Yeah, I understand that. It's a thankless job. But you've turned off so many people by doing things the way you're used to doing it and having things the way you want it, that there's a disdain for it and people don't want to be a part of it. Now, I just saw this weekend, I just posted 3 young kids who my son's age, who used to be running around the fields. I coached in college. I coached in youth league, who are now officials. And they look like you and I. But for so long, the officials who look like you and I didn't get to do all the games, and we rarely saw them. So you kind of push people away. So you had this elitist attitude, like, you're never wrong. You don't have to be socially welcoming to people. It turns off, everyone. So there's no relationship.
Yeah, but think about youth basketball. Remember, I was at a youth tournament and a call didn't go some way and people going out to the cars. And remember, I texted you and you were like, "You're up there? Hey, you better get out of there."
Yes.
So I think it was a good deal to get the referees signed. And now, just like in education, as we flip our hats, fans, there's a gap in terms of good teachers. And it's the same thing that I'm seeing with officiating. Because of how educators are treated, because of how officials are treated, it's really not, something people are just jumping into. It's not. So in terms of the league, though, Yeah, if I'm the players, if I'm the owners, man, let's opt out and get a longer deal now because the money we're talking about is real money, and that cap's going to go up. And there's just some things people that the league needs to clean up in terms of
Yeah,
their contracts
yeah.
before it gets too late. So I'd opt out. So anyway, we're going to move on. Glutton for punishment or just good old fashioned loyalty. Mike, Dame Lillard has spent his entire career in Portland, and he doesn't plan on going anywhere. During a recent appearance on a podcast, Lillard said that he still plans to spend the rest of his career in
Mhm. Good for
Portland.
him.
And here is the quote: I do. When he was asked if he sees himself finishing out his career with the Blazers, I've had my share of people say, man, you got to get out of there. You got to do this, you got to do that. But I'm the type of person that I'm never going to be marching to the beat of nobody else's drum.
Mhm.
I'm always going to do what's in my best interest. And I feel that in my heart. Is he a glutton for punishment or is he just loyal? What do you think, Mike?
I guess that's what loyalty looks like. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, the guy does what he does. I just don't see. I know the guy's good. He's good, but that doesn't mean nothing if you're not winning. That's who I am. I don't give a shit if you lose 100 times in the finals. Just win one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Win one. Go 1 for 99. But if you win one, you did it. It's a lot. He's a great basketball player.
Yes, he is. No doubt about that.
I'm not arguing that, but I need to win a ring. I'm sorry. I don't play the game. Well, just me. I mean, my wife, last night they made a mistake and said boys versus girls. My son's birthday at the bowling alley. I ain't even speak to her. She got mad. Okay. I need to win. I don't care who I'm playing.
All right. He is back officially. Free agent guard Dennis Schroeder finalized a 1-year, $2.64 million deal to return to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, no, that's fucked up. Excuse me.
Lakers general managers, that ain't French. Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka and new coach Darvin Ham reached out to Russell Westbrook in recent days to tell him that they plan to sign a veteran guard for the team's 14th roster spot. Why are you telling him? Oh, sorry. I caught that one live.
Right.
Ham and Schroeder spent 5 seasons together on the Atlanta Hawks. Schroeder averaged 15.4 and almost 6 assists in the 2021 campaign with the Lakers. And then this genius turned down an extension worth north of $80 million during the season. He later struck out in free agency and settled for a 1-year deal worth $5.9 million with Boston. So, Mike, let me get this straight. I don't know if he's married or not, but he went home, told his wife that I'm going to turn down this $80 million extension to be a free agent, and then come home and says, I'm making $5.9 million.
Stupid. I tell you everything right there. Who the guy think he is?
So Schroeder produced for the Celtics, averaged 14 and 4 in 29 minutes a game, but was traded to the Rockets in a deal for Daniel Theis. And he played just 15 games for the Rockets. Schroeder's only 29, man.
The dude is still what? He's difficult. He's from that new age of basketball, that Kyrie Irving age of basketball. He's difficult. I don't need difficult point guards. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. All you did was add a 30-pound less Westbrook to me. It makes no sense. I don't know how they see this helping the team at all.
As a Lakers fan, Mike, he averaged 14 and 4.7 assists in 9 seasons, and 5 of those seasons came with the Hawks. He's not bad. He's under 30. That's not going to help your squad? Apparently
no.
Not.
That man ain't trying. Like, my point guard need to have 7 to 10 assists, not 4.
Well, he averaged only 29 minutes a game.
You wonder why?
The per 48 or whatever.
The way you think. That's what I'm saying. You look at him, man. I tell him every year, look, see that clock up there? How many points we score when you on the floor and how many points they don't? That dictates who plays. You're the point guard. if you're getting us in offense and you're defending the ball, then we're going to be fine. But if we playing even or behind, you sitting down.
Oh man. All right. And to end this as we transition on the show, fans, Dr. Adams is moving this week. So next week will be the start of the construction of the new set. Hi, Kelly. And my wife is helping. So if it looks nice and you like it, I'll take credit for it, but my wife did it. But it's going to take a while to do that. But I wanted to ask you, Mike, what items of memorabilia are on your bucket list? A jersey worn by Michael Jordan in Game 1 of the 1998 NBA Finals, a part of the Last Dance season, recently sold for $10 million. It is the most ever paid for one item of sports memorabilia, surpassing the $9 million paid for Diego Maradona's Hand of God jersey from the 1986 World Cup. I say this because I am a collector of wrestling belts, and I have a baby collection. And my collection, I have a miniature. The focal point of mine is I have a miniature U.S. Heavyweight Championship belt signed by Magnum TA, Tully Blanchard, and Lex Luger. Yes, I'm of that age where that's like my Magnum was like my dude, man.
Make it good, Tully.
I also have a 10-pound gold belt signed. I have an Intercontinental belt signed by the Honky Tonk Man. And again, none of this is for sale. This is for me. I do have some Holy Grail items, though, Mike. I want a green WWE Championship that Backlund held, the green title that Hogan first won in Madison Square Garden, because it had like the first 9 champions like on it. So I want that. I want a Winged Eagle belt. If you're in wrestling, you know the Winged Eagle belt is the championship belt we grew up on with Hogan. All of those years. I won an AWA title because I grew up with the AWA, the NWA, and the WWF as the champions. I want Superstar Graham's WWE title, the red strap one, that he like destroyed and Backlund started crying. That was a dumb angle, but whatever. So, and I want a flare rope. I want a flare rope. I will never get most of those things because one.
Flair won a Flair robe. What are you talking about?
Where am I going to put it?
You did.
You know, I saw the episode like 17 times. You know, I did. You know, I Sean, hey, AJ, man, I need your number. You need to text me because I'm the one that we can go back and forth. Mike's going to forget everything. But I love AJ. But is there any and I want a Tony Dorsett jersey and I want a Roger Staubach jersey just to hang up because you know of my love affair for both of those guys. Mm-hmm. So, Mike, is there anything and something from Dr. Is there anything you want? Because I love the background that you have with AJ, and my wife's going to put something together with my own damn career. Because I had a career, son. I'm talking to KJ. You just never seen half of daddy's stuff. But anyway, is there anything you want?
Mine either. I got a little wall here, but I don't know if I have enough room for everything. I have a Miami Dolphins jersey. My son, when he was with the Dolphins, so I do want to put that jersey up. When he was with the Dolphins, a couple players, offered jerseys and all. I need to get one signed. I would love to have a Troy Aikman, a signed Troy Aikman jersey.
Now, see, I think that's doable.
You know what I mean?
That's something doable.
I want a Troy Aikman signed autographed jersey from Troy Aikman. Basketball wise in the NBA, I like Rondo. Like, to me, I'm a different kind of dude. I like Rondo. I would love to have a Rondo Lakers jersey hanging up in this joint. That would mean the world to me. And then probably, that would be probably it. That would be it. You know what I mean? A Rajon Rondo, because I think he's that point guard that I like. I like to have a Rondo jersey. I like to have that Troy Aikman jersey, and I think I'll be good. Not
Would,
much.
would
Not
like a
much.
cloud guitar too by Prince, but
No,
again,
I
I'm
don't.
not getting any of
No,
these
no.
things.
And I would like a picture. I gotta get a hit roll. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
Yes, dog. You
I
again, we
gotta get
talk out
like
loud. You
a
gotta get
poster.
that. You
I
gotta
like
get
a
that. You
I gotta
gotta.
get like a hit roll poster or something that I can put up because you know,
Yes,
you know what I mean. I'd like to get one of them things where they stand on the wall.
yes, and oh, okay.
You know
See,
what I'm saying?
this
Like
is
the
this
what's
is
the thing
all
called?
offline stuff now. Told you we're friends.
Sorry, my fault, folks. My fault.
All right, with that, we're gonna go see if we can make some marketing money. AJ, you're gonna get a call, and we'll be right back on the Coaches Podcast.
The reviews are in for Dr. Keith Adams' book, Finding the Balance, My Personal Journey to Academic and Athletic Success. College professor and student athlete academic expert Dr. Lisa Rubin said, "There is nothing out there like this book, so I do hope people will pay attention and give it a read." Former George Mason standout Folarin Campbell said, "Consider this book an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Adams just like I did. I assure you that there will be something you can take away that will be useful to you throughout your personal journey." Ryan Waite, a recent college graduate who is a software engineer, said, "I like how the book is based on research, which makes it good for general students as well as student athletes." The book serves as both a memoir to Dr. Adams' 30-year academic and athletic career, as well as an instructional guide to assist student athletes, parents, coaches, teachers, and administrators navigate through the challenges of finding a better balance between academic and athletic success. The book includes over 15 personal stories and anecdotes from Dr. Adams, along with numerous former players and colleagues from a variety of sports and endeavors. You can order your copy at www.ckasaveproject.org. From the main page, simply click CKA Save Project Services and order the Find the Balance book. For more information, contact Dr. Keith Adams by email at cka@ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast in segment 3, WNBA. Here we go. So, Mike, you predicted a 5-game series. I predicted a 4-game series. Let's see how this played out. Game 1, Las Vegas beat Connecticut 67-64. Game 2, Vegas took it to them 85-71. Game 3, Connecticut blew them out of the water 105-76. Game 4 is the night of our taping. And Aces will be at the Suns. And Mark Davis better be at the game because he is the owner. And the Aces better not be a stepchild. So we need to see the owner as they try to close out. And I think they will close out. But Game 5 is scheduled for September 20th. Both games will be on ESPN. And that is good to see. Are you sticking with your prediction, sir, or are you moving to 4 games and out? I think they're going to close out.
I'm staying with 5.
Okay, staying with 5. All right. So all NBA, all WNBA first team reigning WNBA MVP Aja Wilson of the Aces and Brianna Stewart again, Mike, unanimously selected. That's a bird magic kind of thing, man. You also have Candace Parker. Don't retire, Candace. Don't retire, Candace. She is still there, though, and that's when you do leave, George Costanza. You leave when you're on top. Kelsey Plum and Skylar Diggins-Smith rounded out first team, and they went straight positionless. Second team, Alyssa Thomas, Sabrina Ionescu, Nika Agumake, Jaquel Jones, she's the truth. And then Sylvia Fowles in her final season made her 8th all WNBA team. And again, man, she's still playing at a high level, but yeah. Additional compensation. Voting for the all WNBA team was conducted in the positionless format. Just 3 of the 10 players to make either team were listed as guards. Each member of the first team gets an additional $10,300, Mike. So first team all WNBA, $10,300. And each player who made the second team will get an additional $5,150 for making it. Any thoughts?
$5,000.
$5,150.
All right, next topic.
Okay. Brittany Griner update. President Biden met with stop.
It's an insult.
It is an insult. President Biden met with families of Brittany Griner and Michigan corporate executive Paul Whelan, both who remain jailed in Russia. Again, just wanted to provide the family updates. This is a real situation, but there was an update. So hopefully it can work out. It's foreign policy. So we're just going to let foreign policy be just that. But Mike, I wanted to spend some extended time talking about the commissioner's State of the WNBA address prior to the WNBA finals. Kathy Engelbert addressed the media, and here's some thoughts, and I'd love your reaction to it. With BG, she confirmed that the league's working with government officials, and we've covered that, but it was good that she mentioned that. Standing firm on the prioritization rule. So next year, the league's prioritization rule will take effect. In 2023, players must report to their team by opening night, or they will be ruled ineligible for the entire season. In 2024, players must report by training camp. In recent days, some players have expressed frustration about the rule because it could create conflicts. Kathy Engelbert made it clear that the league is not backing down, even if it means some players decide to leave. So before you comment, let me reset it for our audience why this is a rule. The league's rule stems from a reasonable place. Players often play overseas well into the WNBA season, which hurts the WNBA team and the overall product of the league. In an effort to get players to choose the WNBA over these other leagues, the league implemented a new prioritization policy in 2023. Any player with over 2 years experience will be required to report to the WNBA team by opening night, or they will be declared ineligible. Breanna Stewart is not sure how this is going to impact her plans because she typically plays in Turkey and she makes a significant amount of money. Now, Mike, what are your updated thoughts on prioritizations?
If we're not going to pay them more money, we can't kind of control what they're doing. It's that simple. I don't want to hear about privatizations. I don't want to hear about nothing. Like, if these women have to do what they have to do to supplement their income, then just let it be. Like, you either compete or leave them alone.
Wow. So this will be something that will continue to come up, fans.
It's not a lot. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard. If you don't want them to go over there, pay them so they don't have to. Otherwise, you can't control their free time.
Yes. And as you saw with Brittany Griner, she made a choice to go to Russia to play. And she and her wife were talking about this will be her last season because she's finally in a position financially that she didn't have to supplement the income. So, all right. Commissioner Engelbert also talked about expansion, and there are no significant updates with expansion. The WNBA is going to expand in the near future, but when and where is still uncleared. Engelbert noted that the league has narrowed down a list of potential cities to about 10 and confirmed that Oakland and the San Francisco Bay Area is on the list. She still hopes to make an official announcement before the end of the calendar year. And finally, preseason games are coming to Canada as the league looks to expand its global reach. The WNBA is still based entirely in the United States, though there's a chance that could change with expansion if Toronto is one of those chosen cities. In the meantime, the league is trying to expand its global reach, so there will be preseason. Stop it.
It's a bad decision.
They're going to be preseason games played in Canada.
But why are we investing money in Canada and worried about women not? Man, that's crazy, man. Who is running this thing?
Kathy Engelbert is the commissioner.
Well, they need to get rid of Kathy.
All right.
Does Kathy know she ain't running Montgomery County Rec Club?
So in terms of prioritization, we both say there's got to be some type of compromise because if we're not going to pay, and the league seasons 35, 40 games eventually, yeah, that's something. Okay. So I agree that you're going to cause undue conflict with the prioritization, but we'll see what happens with that. In terms of expansion,
This makes no sense.
I kind of want them to expand because there's only 144 jobs. It's only 144 jobs. So if you can expand by 2 teams, you can increase the amount of jobs, increase the amount of, revenue. We still need some more investors though. So
Right.
we need
Let's
some
do that.
cash flow coming
And if
in.
they're not coming from Canada, then what?
Well, if the NBA's in Canada, we can have a WNBA team in Canada. And the NBA is talking about moving to Monterrey, Mexico, and having a Mexican team because then it's North America. That has come up. I don't know how strong those comments are, but all right, Mike. Anything else for the good of the order? Sorry to upset the
Good, bro.
breakfast this morning.
Good. Looking good. We're good.
All right. So on behalf of my tag team partner, Coach Mike Francis, I am Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the iCoaches podcast. And we will see you on the sidelines. Till next time, take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach Franchize. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.